but I think it is absolutely observable.
I reckon I should start the lives about an hour before I start the lives. Fuck me. Who's with me? Is that you, Sky Girl? Is that Alana? Cheers. Happy Friday. We've survived another week. I was just listening to UK Column, and you'll have to excuse this. I've got a long drive tomorrow, so I need to try and block the blue light from the screen out so that my brain doesn't get tricked into thinking that it's morning. And these block blue light, so they just clip on. This bit's a bit unsightly. The rest of it, I quite like the look of it. Yeah, look a little bit like, no, oh my God, I was going to say Bono, but he's a cunt, isn't he? Yeah, we were just talking about how civilization as we know it is coming to an end. And it depends on how you look at that, really. Me personally, I think we're quite honoured. We're quite honoured. We've got front row seats for the biggest change in the global society in recorded history. Front row seats. So a lot of you guys are about the same age as me. So most of us that haven't got a granddad or grandma anymore, certainly haven't got a great grandma or great granddad, and their parents before that, going back generations after generation after generation, back. And they've never seen change like this. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. And we've got front row seats. Anyway, so hello, Sky Girl. Hello, Carly. Hope you're both doing all right, lasses. How do you feel about the upcoming apocalypse? We'll be all right because we're preppers. We were born for this time, and I think we've got all the skills. Because we've spent the last 5 years just researching and listening to podcasts, using our discernment, powers of discernment, because it is a power. Power of discernment is a superpower. I do, You see, you speak to a little 10-year-old kid, and you go, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? And he'd turn around and say, I'd like to fly like Superman, or shoot laser beams out my eyes, or turn invisible, something like that. I'd choose discernment over all of that. Or the laser beams thing, that'd be quite tempting. And I've always wanted to fly. I have tried, but I keep falling out the window. Should see the state of my knees. Bono is a see you next Tuesday. Yes, he certainly is. Yeah. What a wanker. What a wanker. I think back to when the Joshua Tree came out. I loved that music. I thought it was great. There was no one like him. And just like so many politicians, so many actors, so many singers, they've they've gone to the dark side. They've gone to the dark side because they think the dark side's going to win, because they haven't got discernment, because they don't see what we see. They're completely blinded, you know. Anyway, did anyone watch the 40th anniversary of Live Aid? Jesus, I felt old. I didn't watch that. I didn't. But I do remember last year I was doing a walk and talk, and because the original Live Aid was 1984, ironically. So we've gone from, in 40 years, we went from feed the world to starve the fucking world. In 40 years, feed the world to starve the world in 40 years. And I said that in a live stream, in a walk and talk. And I just thought, you can't get more ironic than that. You know, that's powerful irony. Nothing in the news, but locals filmed him. Yeah. I mean, he's one of the. He's just like the rest, really. It's you know, a little bit of plastic surgery, a little bit of Botox, bit of adrenochrome, keep him looking young. You know. I'd love to ask him though. I'd love to say, have you ever wondered though what it would feel like to be burning in the fires of hell for eternity? Because that's your fate. Oh, that's a nice thought. I'm reorganizing my preps at the moment. Just bought a couple of soya minis for the emergency bag. Good. I think that's a great idea, because you see, one of the great things about soya minis is, considering how much they cost and how big they are and how light they are and how simple they are, they can purify hundreds of thousands. I think, is it 200,000 liters or is it 200,000 gallons of water? Now, it can get rid of bacteria and stuff like that, you know, nasty shit, but they can't get rid of chemicals. So so you're still going to end up with the fluoride issue. So yeah, you know, but we can only do what we can do. You know, there's still definitely 100% something I would recommend that everyone has at least one of. You know, and I said a couple of years ago, oh, I'd love to have the camo one. You know, well, I ended up getting it in the end. I caved in, so I've got 3 now. So in theory, that should see me through for years, and hopefully by then, you know, we will have found some sort of equilibrium, you know, in a completely different world. Hey up, Lana, thanks for joining us, sweetheart. You got sidetracked with caravan porn. I didn't even know that was a niche. I'll have to have a look. Yeah. I can't imagine getting red raw off the back of an Eldis. You can get these really, really small caravans. I mean, they are very, very small. And it's mad because the bigger the caravan, you can get quite a big caravan for less than these tiny little caravans, right? So caravan porn. Imagine getting one of these little caravan, these pods, right, parking up on your drive, waiting till it's dark, and then sneak out there. Too much. It's too early for that shit. Oh dear. I know U2 were one of my favourite bands. Yeah, mine too. In the 80s and 90s. Yeah, they were brilliant. They were brilliant. I would have never have thought. I would have thought, because they were so political back in the day, because they were a bit, not overly so, but there was quite a lot. There were quite a lot of political messages in a lot of their songs. I would have thought that they would have been wide awake and on our side. You know. Well, it just goes to show, just like a lot of other people that we know in our family, our friends groups, workmates, neighbours, you know, people that we thought they'll be switched on, they'll see straight through this. No, haven't got a clue. And then people that we thought would be fast asleep and fucked on it. It was such a strange one, you know, but at least we know what's what and we know who's who now. You know, I only watched it because my other half still watches the brainwashing box, and it was on. Normally, don't watch the TV. Well, it's unlucky, Sky Girl. It is. It's unlucky, you know. But hang in there. Hang in there. When he starts to see shit happening, when he starts to see what you've been telling him, the penny will drop at some point. It's highly likely, you know. Hang in there, have some faith. Outside Kirkby in Ashfield, council officers today, immigrant outside naked, smoking a fag, naked. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's made me so afraid of walking that way with the kids now. It shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be this way. Now, what we saw yesterday, to me, that was more interesting and more crucial than what happened last July. And by that, I'm not taking away the anger and the injustice of what happened to those little girls. I think you know me better than that now. You know, it was the fact that it was a flashpoint that just happened out of nowhere. The police weren't ready for it. No one was ready for it. You know, it happened completely organically. There was no kind of, you know, WhatsApping. Shall we all meet up at this hotel? And because they can see it all. And even if it's not those cunts at 77th Brigade keeping an eye on you, it's algorithms within WhatsApp, within the service provider of your mobile phone. The algorithms, they'll be, you know, you'll be on some list somewhere and you'll be categorized in it. You know, it's just like what level of risk you are and stuff like that. So that would kind of be fed back to someone high up that would pass it down to the police and say, get out to this hotel, you know. But that happened really organically. It just happened. Now, because these fucking cockroaches are so backward and so oil to our water, they can't help themselves. They can't help attacking kids and attacking women. Not all of them, you know, but we don't know who's who. We don't know which is what. So we need to get them all out, you know, and then do it the old-fashioned way. We've got loads and loads of people. We've got black people from the Windrush era, right? They fitted in perfect. They went through more racism than any black or brown person today. Way more racism. Yet they slotted in, assimilated, and became one of us. You know? So we just need to go back to the old way, the old-fashioned way of vetting people, not just letting any old fucker in, you know. You know, how many is it? 20,000 people now on the terror watch list in this country. And then we've got loads and loads of people. I don't know if anyone's been keeping an eye on the post section. the police actively guided those idiots, those lefty lunatics, to that hotel. They guided them there. So what happened there was actually caused by the police and their actions. Yeah, I tell you what, Carly, just take something with you that you can get away with just saying, you know, I always use a samurai to farm my nails. You know, I always take a machete just in case I see a mushroom that I recognise and is edible. Just think outside the box, Carly. You know, stay safe. Number one rule. What's the world coming to? We have to view naked immigrants with our kids. Bloody shocking. Not for much longer. You see, that's another thing that's going to happen organically, right? And not everywhere, because it's going to be quite difficult in some places, like Bradford, you know, and places like that. But in other places, in places that are majority British, like I said, by that I mean all of all colours. As long as you respect the country and its ways, you know, and its rules and its laws and its people, you won't have a problem. Join us, be with us, because you've got the same problem as we've got. So places like that, you're going to end up with these flare-ups that are going to be organic, you know, and what you're going to end up with is blokes going out there, a little bit like the Blade Runners, but instead of taking cameras out, fill in the blanks. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. This is where this is how it starts. This is how I said it was going to start, organically. You know, no more. We've got to try and avoid communicating with each other via electronically, you know. Where there's a will, there's a way. You know, just like I said, that's another example of why it's so important to start networking, because word gets around. Before you know it, there's a shitload of you demanding justice, which we're not getting. And yeah, we would get done for indecent exposure if that was us. But I think I don't understand why any normal bloke would be able to just walk past that and say and do nothing. Nothing, you know? If I was walking down there and I saw that, I'd think, that's disgusting. I'd probably have a word. But if I looked around and I saw kids, I'd go to another level. You know? And that's another fucking problem we've got. People are like, they'll film it rather than be proactive. And that's got to stop. You know, it's got to stop. There was a bloke who took some video footage, and there was an immigrant. This was in Brixton. Immigrant just stood there on the pavement, trousers down, boxer shorts down, having a shit on the pavement. People just walking past, like nothing was different. The third world in a first world creates a third world, but we're not there yet. Just remember that. Have faith. Have faith. The UK will erupt soon. Will it? Will kick off soon. It will. It's coming. You can feel it. You can feel it. You know, it's something's got to give. You know, you get a stick, and you keep bending it, which is the British public. Eventually, snap. And there's going to be loads and loads of people out there that haven't prepared. They haven't got the knowledge that we've got. And I know this. I don't know how this is going to come across, and I did say this last year. Let them do the legwork. Leave them to it. Sit back and observe. You'll know when it's your time to shine. You'll know, and you'll know what your purpose is. Carly, it was next door to the police station as well. Are you joking? They were literally inside the building, and yet he was walking around with public like it was nothing. They did step in eventually. How long did it take, Carly? Freedom, you can actually take them to small claims court for that to reclaim costs for your losses. What's that for? I think the Hells Angels have been stepping in some cases I've heard, but not sure. Not Hells Angels, but Hells Angels wannabes. Now, Annie, if Annie's watching this, she'll be like, chill, Winston. So the Outlaws. So the Outlaws are very similar. Not quite. I don't think they're quite as hardcore, right? And they had a chapter in Long Eaton. They took over 2 houses in the council estate, about a 10-15 minute walk from this house. And they had 2 houses, and they knocked it through, just sledgehammer, you know. Which is a supporting wall? Fuck it, I don't know. Crime rate was right down there, but I felt so sorry for the neighbours, because they were all partying till 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, sometimes right the way through the weekend. Bikes pulling up. They haven't got little mopeds, you know, the big bassy bastard things. So there's a guy, I don't know what his name is, and he's got a bald head, tattoos all over his head, and all I see is ego. That's all I see. So I can't see that turning out very well, because he's going to want, because it's called Shield. He's brought the chapters together under something called Shield, and he's going to want to be the main man. Now, bearing in mind, it's just full of fucking egos. You know, and you've got presidents of each chapter from each city. And he's going to want to be the head of Shield because he started it off. So everyone's going to want. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's got to be organic, completely organic. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. I mean, I hope it works, but I don't think it will. Search on YouTube for My Wildlife Garden was deliberately poisoned. There was a guy. Oh yeah, he filmed it. Yeah, I've seen that. And they were arguing like, oh, no, it wasn't me. Wasn't me. As he stood there with some Roundup, pouring it on his roses. It's not me. It's like when you go to the fridge to, you know, you've got kids. You go to the fridge to make a brew, get the milk out. Milk's gone. It's a brand new fucking pint. You look down, your little son's got a little white moustache. You drank all this. He was so banged to rights. You see, these people have got so much more patience than I have, you know? Probably a lot more patience than a lot of you guys have got. Because we've all had it up to here, you know? Hello, Kelstorm. You all right, darling? Are you rocking away on your boat? Hey? Sailing. Is your dog called Winston? Should I change his name? I changed the name of the channel, you know, just for you. Well, for us, for me, for me. No, for us, really, for longevity, to fly under the radar. But I can change maybe a double barrel, you know, Storm Winston. I did a gig for them once, terrified me, never again. A gig for who? A gig for who? Who did you do a gig for? Pray tell, our Carly. Hello, Maria Spoon. How you doing, sweetheart? You all right? Thanks for coming along. Coming along. That sounded a bit Yorkshire. I'm going up in there. I've got so gonna have like a shut off at midnight because I've got like a 3.5 hour drive. 3.5's. It's a long drive for me, that, you know. I don't mind zipping around, you know, doing 150 miles an hour if there's any pigs watching. Yeah, it's a bit of a slog. So I'm going up into Lancashire tomorrow. So I do need to get. That's one of the reasons why I've got these blue light blockers on. Don't worry, I'm not advertising them. You know, I've not got a little. If you click down there and go into my eBay shop, you buy one of these for 75 grand and these for £400, even though this costs 13 quid and these cost 6 quid. Boats Cozy got Nag Champa going. Oh, I've got loads of Nag Champa. Check this out. It's all right, Bella. It's okay, I'll leave it. Yeah, I didn't like the idea of ever running out of nag, you see, because it's one of the few. You can buy loads of cheap ones, and it can irritate your dogs. It can, especially if you've got birds as well, like parrots and stuff like that, budgies, cockatiels, cockatoo. I've heard you like a cockatoo, Maria Spoon. So I thought, so I've got about 50 boxes, but variations. You know, I've got the standard one, I've got the midnight one, got a few different ones. I like them. I love the smell of them. Just getting them out, just smelling the box. Do you want to sniff me box? Oh dear. And we're off. You grew up whereabouts in Lancashire did you grow up, our Sky Girl? Sorry to sound thick. What's Nag Champa? Just sticks. They're just sticks, but they're good quality ones, you know. You pay a little bit more for them, not much, not much. Pay a bit more for them, and you get a better quality smell, and the smoke that comes off. It doesn't irritate. It doesn't irritate your eyes. Doesn't irritate your chest. You know, I know asthmatics that use these, and they're not affected by them at all. Actually, they cough to death. Just kidding. I can say that. I'm an ex-asthmatic. I gave it up. Near Manchester. Well, that rounds it off. That rounds it off. You know, to someone in Seattle, that's next door to me. Is that the red rose? The red rose of Lancashire and the white rose of Yorkshire. Oh, people don't like it when you get the roses mixed up, you know. They go fucking mental, you know, over a rose. War of the Roses, you know, the Tudors. I did that at school. I quite liked history until I found out it was all bullshit. Oh, I forgot to put the water in the front room. I'll wait until she's done and then I'll take it through. I've got to take it through. You know, we've only got till midnight. It's so loud. It's so loud. Oh. I wish we should get doggy straws. Can you get doggy straws? Can you have a look on eBay for me? I'm desperate. I'm fucking desperate. Oh, fuck me. So stressful. There's literally, of all the places I could have thought of that was quite far away to give, like, you know, the whole Manchester to wherever thing, I had to mention Seattle. Seattle just pops into my head, and then Lily appears. Hello, Lily. All right, sweetheart. You're at work, are you? Hope you're having a good day there. You know, it's nice when you can go to work and have a good day and get on with the people that you work with. You know, there's nothing worse than getting up in the morning and just thinking, you know, being able to get up and know that you're going to go to work and actually look forward to it. You know, I've had loads of jobs like that where I've you know, I don't know if you've ever seen American Dad, where he just jumps out of bed with his wife on side, like, "Good morning, USA." I was like that. You know, I've had some good jobs that I loved, and plenty that I didn't. Yeah, just stick to Nag Champa. You can't go wrong. And then they only used to do one kind. Now they've got a big range. They do about 10. How would you know, Terry? I think you have the wrong Maria. I've seen your OnlyFans page, Maria, and I didn't realise that a woman could open their legs that wide. You know? I was like that. I'm sorry, Maria. Oh dear. I brought it down. Let me take it back up again. Am I camping in Lancs? No, just going for the day to see an old friend. They travel all the way down to me, so I'm going up to there. Preston. So it is a bit of a drive. It doesn't look far on the map, but then it never does until you zoom in, you know. And you think, oh yeah, but yeah, you know, it's the first car I've ever had where the aircon actually works. So my main concern would have been the girls, you know, and the heat in the car. I mean, you can put the windows down, but then you've got that all that noise, and yeah. So we'll be nice and cool in there all the way there. It'll be all right. We'll stop off halfway down, let the girls stretch their legs. Have a lab-grown McDonald's. Nah, I won't touch that. But I'm telling you, if you think about the amount of pâtés McDonald's makes, right? And then you think about the quantity on a global scale of how much beef that is, the cheeseburgers, the quarter pounders, all of that, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all. So what is it? I'll never go to McDonald's again. ever. You know, and if Bill Gates has got shares in McDonald's, you know, you've got to be starting to think, I wonder what input Mr. Gates has got into McDonald's. I wonder where his dirty, filthy, evil, twisted, fucked up little mind has got involved. You know, you've got to ask these questions. There are certain beers that I used to love drinking. I used to love beers. Moretti, you know, nice Italian beer, right? I don't drink that anymore. Bill Gates is a shareholder and a significant one. And Moretti falls under an umbrella of different beers. So I can't remember what the main company was called now. You see, he's got his fingers in so many fucking pies. So I don't even drink that anymore. I try and stick to like organic red wine, the occasional gin, but generally just vodka. And as we move a little bit nearer, you know, I'm just keeping my eyes open, my head on a swivel, my ear to the ground, and my fingers on the pulse of the planet. And because I don't want to miss the opportunity of buying a shitload of vodka in, because I need to get into the tinctures. I've got to get into these tinctures because it's the way. It's the way. It is. I've just made my 10th supplement today. So I've got 10 different ones now. And I would say 6, maybe 7 of them are basically geared up specifically for clearing the body of parasites and their eggs, because one thing might kill the parasite, but it won't kill the egg. And then there's something else, there's other stuff you can take that will kill the eggs, but won't kill the parasite, you know? And then there are different types of parasite. So I've covered all bases, right? So a complete parasite cleanse. So that plus really powerful herbs that will rid the body of heavy metals, which is aluminium. There's a list. I know you know what the list is as well, if you've been keeping your eyes open, which I'm sure you have. Hello, Chelsea Star. How you doing, darling? How you doing, Dan Diddlin? Oh, the manager's not there, eh, Lily? It's party time. Well, whilst the cat's away, the mice must play. That's what they say in England. I don't know if you've got something similar that you say over there. It's probably whilst the cougar's away. Oh no, cougar's probably not the right word, because most of you girls are cougars. Whilst the coyote's away, fuck it, I don't know. Too much porn on the brain, Terry. I don't watch porn, believe it or not. Believe it or not, I don't watch porn. I'm not a porn kind of guy. There's only one Terry. There's only one Rose Hippie guy, and I'm like, nothing you've ever seen. You know? Porn's bad for you. It's bad for you. You should save all that energy up. All that energy up. You know, don't corrupt your mind with that. It's a right bloody long drive to Lancashire. I do it all the time to visit family, and it's 4.5 to 5 hours from where I am. Well, the last time I went to Preston was in 1997. And I didn't get to have a look around the place because I was in jail. You know, they sent me further and further and further north. So I ended up in Lancaster in the end, in Lancaster Castle, which is apparently it's a museum now. But I stopped off at Preston, spent a week there, and then finished off the rest of my sentence in Lancaster Castle. So I've never actually seen Preston. Apart from outside a little tiny window like that, you know, just streets, shops and cars and Never got to walk around it, you know. So yeah, anyway, be nice to go up there and be free, you know. Silver linings, they're everywhere. I never eat McDonald's. It's not meat. Jesus Christ, it makes me sick to think what's actually in that shit. When I found out my daughter's nana had to take her, then I went bonkers. I don't blame you. Nobody should be taking their kids to McDonald's. You know, our kids have got enough to fucking deal with already, and they don't even realise they're having to deal with it because they're too young. They're too young to understand. And because all of this shit's happening on a massive scale, you know, proper in your face, mad, crazy shit, like pornographic books and are you sure you're a little girl? Are you sure you're not a little boy in a little girl's body? And all that shit. They've got all that, and then social media and the digital age, you know, and a lot of fucked up fucking parents. The last thing they need is eating that shit as well, rotting their brains and doing whatever else it's meant to do. But fortunately, McDonald's has been around for that long now, and there's a lot of people out there like me and you that have got equipment and contacts and stuff. They can go away and analyze shit now. You should get yourself on X. There's so much information on there that you can't really get on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, X is censored as well. They say it's not. It's a load of bollocks. Lana's lost 3 accounts. She's on a 4th account. So it's not a freedom of speech platform. None of them are. You'll only get reach if you're pro the narrative. That's it. It's as simple as that. Yeah, well, hopefully it won't happen again, Sky Girl. Shall I post link to that PDF book I sent you? Yes, if you can do that, that'd be great. So if Lana can do this, you'll get a PDF come up. Please download it and save it. I don't know how techy you guys are. Just save it to your phone, but if you can save it to your SD card, it'd be even better. Or if you're on a laptop, save it to your laptop and then try and, if you can afford to buy a little cheap external hard drive, put it on your external hard drive and have a look at it. I'm not going to talk about what it is, right? Because you'll understand. I think Lana said that there we go. Please download that. It's nothing dodgy. It's not a virus. You know, you can trust our Lana, right? Please download that link. Please. It's a PDF file, which is just a digital version of a book. And it's probably one of the most important books you'll ever read. Ever. Right? So I thought the Green Pharmacy was the ultimate. You know, the dog's bollocks. Oh, no. No. When I came across this book, when Lana sent me this PDF, yeah, my eyebrows went, I had to go and peel them off the ceiling, put them back on again. With some sellotapings. They don't call it sellotape. They go, sellotapings. Got sellotapings? You see, because I'm ready for a massive influx, I'm learning the lingo. Bloody bastard, fucking bastard. See? Fit right in. Just need a tan. I've already got the beard. You know, when I take these off here, my beard goes, phew. You know, like you lasses, because they're all lasses in tonight. You know, when you go out, it's a bit muggy. You know, or it's been raining, it's a bit muggy, and your ear goes, phew. Yeah, that's what my beard does. So I've already got the Muslim convert beard. I just need to get some sort of rag for my head. Just walk around going, bastard, bloody bastard, fucking bastard, Talibani. So yeah, I know the lingo. It's all right, Sky Girl. Trust it. Just trust it. It's fine. It's probably it should still give you an option. Do you still want to proceed? Yes. No. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. You won't regret it. And try and keep it safe. It's very important, especially moving forward. So what I was saying about all of these supplements, I'm on 10 now. I've done 10. I'm aiming to do 15 and then that's it. Then I'm going to work on tinctures, because tinctures are 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times more powerful. But I'll still continue with the supplements as well, right? So I'll be doing both. But getting rid of, or at least getting on top of parasites is incredibly important, which is why I've done what I've done, which is why I've researched the fucking shit out of this, because parasites are causing most of the cancers. And they're finding what look like parasite eggs coming from these. Yeah. And then you inhale it, or, you're breathing through your mouth, that intake of air, they land on your tongue, you swallow, saliva goes into your stomach. It's mad. It's madness. You've got to come up with as many defenses as possible, because like I said, it's a multi-pronged attack on you. They want to kill you, and you've got to defend yourself. And that's why we need to help each other. There should have been a download arrow. Click that and it should let you know. Got it. Good. It's such a wonderful way to live. But winters, by gods, it's hard work. My fire is never out. It's going 24/7. I know, but how cozy. The only downside, Kel, for you, I think, is because did you say you're on a 22 footer? So if you're on a 22 footer, it's not a big space to keep warm, but you've also got 22 foot, and you're a woman. So you are gonna have probably a bit more than the average bloke's got as far as clothes and shoes and bags and shit. Maybe a bit of makeup and all that, stuff that we don't bother with. You've got to find extra space for coal and wood and stuff like that, and stay stocked up. I can imagine the front. I can imagine that you've got wood and coal as ballasts for your boat because you're a prepper. It won't let me download. That's odd. Yeah, can you try it from a laptop? What you could do, Sky Girl, is if Lana could put my email address in, and then if Lana could send me the link via email or via whatever method, I can then send that on to you, but then you're going to have the same problem again because you're still going to have the link. And it's still going to tell you the same thing if you try and open it. It's weird. It's weird. If you try doing it on your phone, figure it out, find a way, we're solution based. Right. Okay. I'm a bit behind as usual. I had that a lot at school. You're behind, Terry. You're behind. Yeah, I know I am. And yeah, it's probably best not that we tell you what the book's called, you know, because what the book's called is in and of itself a risk to, yeah, you'll get it, you'll understand. Yeah, it's tough, low. Yeah, I do have plenty of fuel by wintertime. Come back, wintertime comes in. I'm loving foraging at the mo. Yeah, I love it. I took the girls out for a lovely long walk today, and I was like, you know, I'm surprised they don't look like a blackberry. You know, I've had so many blackberries, just loving it. Grass, thorns, rabbits, just foraging the shit out of shit. You know, that's how I roll. Anyway, oh, that was a mozzie. Let me close that back door. Oh, I don't want none of that Bill Gates remote controlled mozzie injection shit going on. Do you know what? Right. Let me just read these first. Make sure I don't get behind. I found a huge mulberry bush, well, tree. They are delicious, but leaves you looking like a vamp. I don't even know what a mulberry looks like, or what a mulberry bush looks like. I should do, you know, but I don't. So I mean, that could be anything around here. If it looks edible, if it's got berries on it and stuff like that, oh, next time I come to go out again, I'm like that, you know, with my little book. So I know what's what, I know what's where, I know what I can do, what I can't do. I know where I can do a bit of guerrilla gardening, you know, and know I can get away with it and know that only I know. Because I've lived around here for 20 years, you know, and over the last 5 years, just like you guys, we've both gone on to another level. You know, we've all kind of stepped up our game. So yeah, I'm on it like a carb on it. I don't think I've seen anything mulberry. Nothing internet related around phones. Yeah, I remember it was 22 foot. I was right. Yeah, 22 foot. Oh, I'm glad you've got it. Have you had a sneaky peek, Sky Girl? Yeah. Not very large though. Yeah, I get told that. About my fingers. Just my fingers. I can imagine how tough winters. But yeah, just stoking that fire though, you know, when you've got snow coming down, or you know, and it's just landing on the canal or the river, and yeah, I would be so. Like I said, I almost did it. I had everything in place. I had the finances ready to go. I had everything ready to go, and I knew what I was looking for, either a traditional or a semi-traditional canal boat. I did think about a cruiser, but I was always nervous that if you collide with a canal boat, or a canal boat collides with you, they've got a steel hull. Your hull's made from fiberglass. You're fucking going down, you know. Yeah, I just pictured myself freezing, talking to whoever. She's saying, "Hold on, Jack, hold on." Right. So I've been keeping a very, very close eye on Tommy Robinson for a long time now, right? Anyone that gets that amount of attention, I watch. right? And I scrutinise the fucking shit out of them, just like you do, right? I'm sure you've done it with me. You know, I would. So there were a few. I've heard a few things, you know, over the years, and it's made me wonder. I've done a little bit of digging, a little bit of a look. And his early history with the EDL, there was a Zionist faction to that. I don't know if you knew that. And he's openly admitted that when he went over to Israel, why go to Israel, Tommy? Why would you want to go there? You know, you strike me a bit more of a Marbella kind of bloke. And then real photos, not photoshopped, of him wearing Mossad t-shirts. He's very pro Mossad, openly. Very pro Israel, openly. So I have come to the conclusion that he is a tool. That I think he's brought out and brought to the surface things that have been happening, things that are happening, right? So the grooming gangs, all of that, right? So I think we know that our government want us to go to war with Islam, right? And I've already said we've got a battle on three fronts. We've got our government, we've got our invaders, and we've got Islam. And I think it's his job to rile everyone up. Whether he knows it or not, I think he probably does. And he's had a lot of funding, a lot of money, you know. There's a bottomless pit of money for people like him. And Katie Hopkins. So if there's any Katie Hopkins fans out there, do a bit more research. If you're a massive Tommy Robinson fan, then there's a good chance that you've still got the Messiah syndrome, the I need a hero syndrome, at least a little bit of it in you. You've got to get rid of it. Fuck it off. You're on your own. You're on your own. The sooner people get their fucking heads around that, the better. You know? We have got each other. And like I said, in World War II, you had Vera, because she's familiar, Frank, Vera and Alison, who lived opposite each other. They fucking hated each other. Clean your curtains, you chatty bitch. Fuck off. That sort of relationship. And then there was bombings and, you know, the air raid sirens going off. Next thing you know, they're helping each other. They've come together. You know? And that's what all of this shit is going to do to the British people. It's going to unite us. It is. You know, you might think I'm talking out my arse. Watch this space. So please relinquish any need for anyone out there to come and save you. And don't look up to anybody. Don't look up to anybody apart from yourself. Look up to you, you know? You're all you need. You're all you need. And if you've got any, again, the family unit is very, very, very powerful. Very powerful, which is why that's one of the first things that they've aimed to destroy, the family unit. Break up the family unit. By default, you start to break up society and communities, you know, because everything becomes fractured, which is what's happened, you know. But I'm telling you, Tommy Robinson is not what you think. and neither is Katie Hopkins. But he went to prison. Did he? Did he? So, as I've mentioned, I've been to jail. And even back then, they were overflowing, right? Hence why I went to 4 different jails, because on the way to the first one was redirected because they were full up. So I went to Armley, Leeds, then Preston, then Lancaster, right? Full up. And that was in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, right? Tommy Robinson had an entire wing to himself. Let that sink in. So, how many people saw him in jail? How many other prisoners saw him on xXx? How many other prisoners sat down and watched him whilst they were eating the scran from the other side of the room? Just grow your hair, Tommy. Grow your beard. Look a bit scruffy. Lose a few pounds whilst we've got you in this safe house. Just hang in there for a few months. You'll be sorted. In prison, you can get a haircut. You can have a shave. You've got a razor. You know, there's no need or reason, no reason to come out looking like the way you did. It's all for show. And everyone fucking fell for it. A whole wing to himself. No witnesses. Think about it. He's a conspiracy theorist. Cheers. Who's putting all those 100%? Because I'm glad that someone else out there is seeing fucking sense. We've got to stop looking at the circus, right? It's the circus that's distracting us. You know, we need to be looking at the WHO and the WEF. That's what we need to be looking at. You know, and everything's always there. Part of the rules of engagement of this war is that they have to show their fucking hand. But they won't they won't plaster it across the internet. They're not going to plaster it across mainstream media and the newspapers. We know this. We have to be diligent. We've got to look for it. It's there. You just have to be looking for it. The amount of little breadcrumbs that I've put in comments on other people's channels and that, and the response is like, just tell me I'm too lazy to look. And I put, well, you're too lazy. You're part of the reason we're in this fucking mess. That's all they got out of me. That's it. Do your own fucking legwork. The best way to learn, the best way to know, the best way to illuminate your mind is by getting stuck in and maintaining that discernment. It's the only way. It's the only way. I've just spotted the bottom of the emotion in the ocean that counts. Are you getting are you getting jiggy with it, Dark Hellstorm? Are you making some waves? Oh, oh, oh. I bet you sound like that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh dear. Anyway. Be careful with berries. Some small round berries are poisonous. Be careful. Check. Buy an identification book. I've got all. Oh, you won't believe what I've got down here, Maria. I know what berries are all right to eat straight off the bush, and I know what berries need to be cooked down and used, and everything in between. I'm getting there. You know, I'm no Ray Mears, but I'm working on it. You know, I definitely know 100% more than my neighbours, as I'm sure you can say the same about yours. You know, Always check edibility and only try a very small nibble. I always try a little nibble first. And wait 24 hours for any possible reactions. Yeah. Something's got to give for sure. Family and community was the target. It was, yeah. I hate those two, Tommy and Katie, and all those kind of muppets. Yeah, but that's because we're paying attention. You know, when I said that there's this really, really steep, like, different levels of awake. Like I said, I don't know where I am really, because I don't know. I'm certainly not down there, you know, because I'm seeing stuff that all the people down there are fucking missing because they're not paying attention, because they've got the Messiah syndrome. That's got to go. That's got to go. That's even worse than having an ego. Way worse, because it's a proper, full-on, in-your-face distraction. You know, all of that mental space that's being taken up with Tommy Robinson and that other fucking slag. What's her name? Katie Hopkins, right? I'm sure she's not a slag, you know. But either way, she's still not what she says she is. I don't like that. I don't like fucking fakery. So you've got all people have got all that. It's like, oh, Katie says all the right things. Yeah, because that's what she's meant to be doing. That's her role in the play, in the circus. The traditional bricklayer on YouTube. Yeah. They want the children to turn against their mothers and fathers. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're going to try and make it almost impossible to homeschool. They want your kids. If they can get your kids at an early age, their minds are so malleable. Kids are all about imagination. You know, you see them with dolls, and you know, I was there. There'd be builders, and there'd be a big pile of sand. I'd clock this pile of sand, and I'd have my little cars driving. I'd make little tunnels and stuff. I only stopped doing that last year. But they're all about imagination, you know. It's all about imagination. So you get these really fucked up teachers that need to be fucking hung from the neck until they are dead. These teachers putting all this poison in their minds, and these kids are taking it in because they trust the teacher. Again, I don't understand why there aren't massive groups of mothers, especially mothers, right, all coming together and just taking these schools by fucking force, like a storm. You know, if I had a kid, it's the first thing I'd be doing. First thing. Your kid should be everything. Yeah, Kel. I'm more of a Mears than a Grills. You know, Grills like, oh, I'm so thirsty. I've got no water on me. 4 fucking camera crew, 17 vehicles behind the camera. I was going to pick up this elephant dung. Oh, that should see me through for another 4 days. What a cunt. Ray Mears was very realistic, very normal guy, down to earth, nice chap, you know? More relatable, less fake. Message there from Lana. Heads up, the UK government has announced xXx Pegasus. Lana reminded me of that. I put something about that into the post section. I know that some of you guys saw that. It's something we need to be paying very, very close attention to, you know, and it will affect you as much as you let it. which they are calling the largest national pandemic response exercise in history, set to take place in autumn 2025. They'll get the same fucking response as they got the last time. You know? There are so many more people out there, you know, they're like, oh, I didn't see it at the time, but I see it all now. You know, hundreds of thousands of people more, maybe millions, I don't know. I'd probably err on the lesser, you know? And they'll all be like, no, I'm not fucking falling for this shit again. We'd never had a pandemic since what, 2018 was it? 2017, 2018? And even then, that was bullshit, right? So we've never had one before, and all of a sudden we've got one after another, after another, after another. What's going on? And we've had immigrants come in from the Windrush, and to help get the factories going and get the country going in the 50s and 60s. And then it increased a little bit, but over the last 5 years, we've got hundreds of thousands. When did that, why did that start? How come that's just start? There'll be people asking these questions, little things just falling into place in their minds, you know, just little things. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes to make one little snowball, you know, and then you push that snowball down the hill. By the time it gets to the bottom of that hill, it's taking fucking houses out. More bullshittery come in, and be interesting to see what the normies think. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting all round. Been posting the next treaty is tomorrow. Yeah, well, we know we're not going to exit, don't we? I know you were home educate Sky Girl, and good on you. I salute you, you know, and I mean that. You should be so proud of yourself. So proud of yourself. Which ain't going to happen with Starmer at the helm. No, it's not. A cunt is a cunt is a cunt. Whatever they tell you to do the opposite. Yeah, exactly. That's all we need to do, you know? And you see, it's all about compliance, right? They need to get your compliance. And all you need to do is go, no, you're all right. And then they'll turn around and say, well, you do realise the consequences may be this, this, and this. Did you not hear the first fucking no? No matter what. Because I'm telling you, we need to come together, you know? And even if everyone doesn't come together, people like you are going to be spotted by those that do comply, and they're going to be thinking, why did I comply? I've changed my mind. What's this about? Because it's just been drawn in, you know? Comply. That's how it is. The fucking Black Mirror devices, the TV, the propaganda pushing machine that is the BBC. It's everywhere, and people are just complying. But I'm hearing conversations left, right, and centre all over the place. Bus stops, queues, you know, shops, pubs. I'm hearing people talking all over the place. Something's happening. People are changing. People are waking up. Have faith. But don't stop waking people up. Reinforce what they might be thinking already. You know, if they're a bit of the way there already, give them a little bit of a nudge. You know, because I told. So Kelstorm homeschooled as well, this is brilliant, lovely to see. It's like, you know, we're different. We're different. She didn't want to pray. She didn't have to. Teacher told her at 8 years old that Jesus didn't love her. What a bitch. You know, what sort of a fucking teacher does that? the jabbed will get sick. Yeah, that is quite possible, Lily. You know, it's that 5-year mark, you know, and a lot of people saying wait until 5 years has elapsed. We're coming up to the 5-year mark, because the jab rollout started in sort of mid 2020, didn't it? If I remember right. It's hard for me to remember. A lot happened, you know. I'm not jabbed, no chance. I know, Cal. Even those in our little tribe that did get jabbed, they're still on our side. You know, there are people that are wide awake now. There'll be people out there that are more wide awake. You know, they've got a bigger, wider peripheral than any of us have got. But back then they got jabbed because they didn't see it at the time. You know, so don't give up on the jabbed. Not all of them. You know, please. They can do one. Whatever they try to implement, I will be doing whatever I please. I don't follow their rules. Spot on, Sky Girl. Stock up what you need for the next 6 months. I've been putting that out in comments, but spamming the comments. You know, going into someone else's comment and then leaving a reply, going into someone else's comment, because my shit just disappears. It disappears all the time. So I've been spamming. Prepare enough food for 6 months minimum. Prepare enough food for 6 months minimum, and just doing that on someone's channel and then going on to someone else's channel. You know, so I'm doing it whilst I'm out and about, and then I'm doing it online as well. I'm applying myself as much as I possibly can, because every little helps. And if everyone did that, it'll make a massive impact. It will. How much of an impact, actually, we don't know. But it can only help. I've been prepping since 2021, Lily. We will be fine. Yeah, we will. A mandate can only be enforced with consent. That was what I was trying to say, Lana. Everything so far has required consent, right? They've got to control us by consent. It's almost like a rule of engagement, you know? Just, they're going to make it sound like you've got no, if you don't do it, right, this will happen. And that will sound way worse than that, but it won't be. It's just the way it's sold. It's the way it's sold to you. Don't cave in. Please don't cave in. You're bigger and better than that. And a suggestion. Exactly. It's a suggestion. It's like, would you like to take this poisonous injectable? No, thank you. Would you like this? Do you like the idea of digital slavery? We'll give you a £300 bonus. In fact, we'll make it 150 quid. How does that sound? No. Lana's gone for a coffee. Oh, nice to meet a fellow homeschooler. Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. It's lovely. Everyone should be doing it. Everyone. And there is a way. And you know what? The more people that homeschool their kids, the easier it is for people to homeschool their kids. I am a realist. I understand that we have now been put in a position where we can't just have one breadwinner. There's got to be two people. Otherwise, they're not going to pay the rent and put food on the table, clothe the kids, which are growing up. So they're growing out of their clothes. You know, I had hand-me-downs. I had fucking hand-me-downs. I looked awful in Rose's dresses. I agree. It's brilliant to see so many of us are home educating our boys and girls. They learn the truth and the way not to, not the lies the school system teach. Spot on. Yeah, absolutely spot on. I hold no hate for the jabbed. Good, Cal. My daughter did. She's 25, so it was her choice. I know it's a tough one, Cal. I haven't got kids of my own, you know, but I've seen friends and family members go for it. people I cared about, you know, and still do. But at the time, you would have said something, no doubt. We all did. But your conscience should be clear, you know. I know it's awful when it's your child, regardless of their age. They're still your child, you know. But you did what you did what you could, and it's a fingers crossed thing and hope for the best. And it could have been saline, so you know. I think it was more than 50% of people had saline. I think it was three counts. We will see, won't we? You know. Maybe we should all be spamming groups in that way too. Really good idea. I'm telling you, do it, because every now you'll get a notification if someone has responded to your. Not always, otherwise you just get spammed back, you know. But every now and then you'll get a notification that someone's responded to your comment, and it'll be like. I started prepping in blah, 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 which is even better because then people have read yours, then they've read another prepper's text or comment. And then that's it, because they can look at one and think, oh, fucking conspiracy theorists. You see two, you can get a ball rolling, you know? And it just, even though we don't need credibility because we know that this is the correct thing to do, but there are people out there that need to see other people recognizing someone else's comment that might sound conspiratorial to someone else, you know. So spam, do it. You're not going to get kicked out of YouTube, and even if you get kicked off of someone's channel, it doesn't matter. It was for an honourable reason. Yeah, I would have homeschooled too, Lana. I think I know we both would have done. It's just the way we roll, you know. We see the indoctrination camps for what they are, because that's what they are. Education is compulsory, but school is not. Yeah, and I think education should be compulsory. Otherwise, you'll end up with kids growing up knowing fuck all about fuck all. So they're not going to be any use to themselves, let alone anyone else. But yeah, teaching them how to grow food, teaching them the true value of money. That doesn't grow on trees. Relationships, you know, everything. And when I say relationships, I'm talking about young children here, teaching about relationships. I'm not on about the sexual side. You know how you just, you know, if your kid bites someone else's kid, you get your kid over, come over here, bite them the same way as they bit that little kid, watch them cry. Obviously, don't take the fucking finger off. Watch them cry and you go, did that hurt? Yeah. Well, that's what you did to her. That's how you made her feel. You know, tough love. There's not enough of it. You can love the shit out of your kid and be too fucking soft and turn him into a bastard or a monster or a pathetic little wilting little flower. You know, tough love will create tough kids that will create rounded adults. And I know I'm not a dad, but I have parented, you know, and it's just common sense. The only reason I can home educate is because I lost my job in my 50s. I then woke up and will never go back to work. They've had enough tax out of me. My priority now is my daughter, not work. Yeah. It's your number one priority is your offspring. If you look at any other, we are animals, sort of, you know. I could go down another fucking rabbit hole with you there, right? But every other living creature on this planet, their number one priority is the care of their young. Their number one priority. So it shouldn't be any different for us. It's just the last two generations, especially the last one, right? As in of an age to be parents, are so indoctrinated themselves that they can't fucking see it. You know, they need a proverbial fucking slap across the face to the point where they just snap out of it and go, right, now do you see? Yeah. And it's coming. It's coming. And they're trying to work out why their kids are so fucked up. Or they need honest people around them to turn around and say, you know why that you've got all these problems, don't you? No, I've got no idea. It's fucking you. It's you. You fucking shit. And I'll tell you why. And then reel a list off. The truth is the truth. You know, the truth hurts sometimes. I've always respected people being honest with me as long as it's the truth. You know, sometimes I don't always like to hear it, but we learn and we grow from it. My aunt and uncle didn't get saline. I'm so sorry, Maria. Yeah, you're one of millions of people out there that have experienced this. You know, these people have got hell to pay. And if it goes the way I think it's going to go, Keir Starmer will indeed be dragged through the streets of London by two fingers up his fucking nostrils, dragged through the streets of London. Everyone getting a fucking kick in there. And yes, YouTube, I am inciting it. Yeah? You've been a tool in this, you fucking cunts. Three and a half years ago, we couldn't have spoke about any of this. The vast majority of the comments that we're getting away with now, we couldn't have said back then. We were so censored. So Google and YouTube, you're going to fucking pay as well. You are. There's nowhere you can fucking hide. Nowhere. You're on the list. Kelstorm, I totally agree. We taught our children from the day they were born to talk, to walk, to eat, to go to the toilet, and everything else until they were 5. Yeah, and you never stop being a mum. You know, you never stop. I told my aunt, and she said, I trust my doctor. Yeah, they do. Yeah. I can put a white coat on, put a stethoscope around my neck now, and go up to someone and go, you know, if I'm in the right setting, I could walk around a hospital. You can buy this shit on eBay. I could walk around a hospital, just walk in the bay and go, right, okay, can you get your legs up on these stirrups for me, sweetheart? You know, it's happened. People just put blind faith in these people. And the problem is that these doctors have learned through a system that was created by evil people. The rock to the fellas. They took away all this. They took away all this, all these natural herbs, all of this. They banned it. You know, they took people that knew what they were doing, that knew how to use nature to heal people, and they vilified them. You know. Well, I'm bringing it back. I might not be able to help the whole country, you know, but I'll certainly be able to help some. And I am helping some. I know I am. I know I am. I'm not the only one that's taking these. I strongly suggest you start doing some research, you know, start doing this yourself. I mean, you can buy these shop bought things, but like, where the fuck did they come from? You know, what are these binders? With this stuff, you know what's what. You know what's what. To a greater degree, anyway. You know, we've got to change our ways. We've got to boost our health up, our physical fitness, our biological fitness, and our mental fitness. We've got to boost that right up there, ready for what's coming. If you want to stand a chance. Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's mass scale Stockholm syndrome. And I'm sure you all know, but just in case one person doesn't know what the Stockholm syndrome is, right? The Stockholm syndrome was where there were people that were taken hostage, right? It's based on a true story, right? They were taken hostage and they eventually saw their captors as people that they needed to protect, people that they trusted. Yeah, it's a mad one. It's a mad one. So you end up trusting the very people that were there to harm you. It's another form of brainwashing. I'm still hoping some others want to join the farm project. Do you know what, Lily? You know, if it didn't cost so much money to get over there, to live over there from over here, and the fact that they do a criminal background check on me, and they'll go, no, don't worry, it's just marker pen. I'm not. It's not a fucking an all-seeing eye. If I was over there, I guarantee, Lily, I would help you make it work, and I'm sure some of these guys would as well. You know, it's just a shame that you're in a different continent. You know, but as time goes by, Lily. But again, it's getting the right people. And there's another book that Lana recommended to me that I strongly recommend you get, Lily. Lana, remember the Ice Age book? Can you put the full name of the book, and if you can remember the author, so Lily can look it up? It's very, very comprehensive, Lily. It's from what crops you can grow in freezing cold temperatures, right down to dealing with lazy people that you've got with you, down to marauders, down to every single aspect of surviving a mini ice age. So if you can survive a mini ice age, down to every single fine detail, you can survive anything. So I'm sure Lana's getting that up for you now. Please get that book, Lily, because it will help you. It will help you because of your endeavour. You know, it's quite an undertaking, and I'm very, very I admire you for doing that. You know, I would love to be in that position, but I've got a bit of a garden. You know, I can do so much. I've got a little stretch down there where I can grow stuff. I know what I'm doing. I can handle myself. I'll be all right. I'll do all right. But again, the lone wolf, the whole lone wolf thing is not going to work. But I know who to get on board when I need to get them on board, and it'll be formidable, and it's people I trust. So, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So does one of my bros took it to go to rock concerts. I know. I mean, you couldn't fucking make it up, could you? You know. I understand I thought I was saving granny excuse. I get that. You know, people thinking I want to do the right thing here, not knowing that they're just being lied to. You know, I get that. But when you hear people, I wanted to go on holiday, you just feel like fucking idiot. Fuck off. Get out of my face, you moron. There's people like that got on my tits. Stupid reasons, you know? Not paying attention to it's an experimental. It's not been tested on humans. You know, again, we pay attention to shit like that. We're an exception to the rule. We are. And that's not an egotistical thing, but it is still something you should be proud of. Does he still think you're a tinfoil hat wearing nutter? He's going to find out soon enough that you weren't. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Lana. He is too far gone. Well, at least you know that you are not alone, Lana. You know, you're not alone. We might not be sat in the same front room as you, or your bedroom, or wherever you sat. But we are here. We are Legion. We are. And you know that. We tried telling him. What are you laughing at, Lily? Wagwan. But we'd I'm still hoping that's, yeah, I reckon you'll be all right. There it is, Lily. If you can get a pen and write down that, how to prepare for the mini Iceland. Mum's gone to Iceland. All the chickens are frozen there. By Dr. Anita Bailey, PhD. Or if anyone else can afford, again, if you've got any spare cash, but it's not much, spend it on food, just food and preps. But if you've got enough spare cash to shell out for that book, please buy that book. Defo, tribe, yeah, exactly. That's the first squat I've done for a while. I need to get back into my squats, but I need to wear looser trousers. Because I've gone, yeah. Squats aren't good for tight fitting trousers. Do you know what I mean? UK Amazon link. And is there even a link there for you, Lily? And that should open up on your phone or whatever in American. It should translate it automatically and bring it up. Nice one. I think that'll be a game changer for you, Lily. I really do. I genuinely believe that, because of your endeavour, because of what you're trying to do. I think that book will be a game changer for you. You see, this is what we should be doing. Just helping each other for free. There are so many channels out there that are just grifting the fuck out of people because they know that people are nervous, people are scared, people are vulnerable, you know, and they're taking advantage of that, and it really fucking gets on my tits. Let's just top this up. I don't like grifters. I think if you put in really, you know, like proper solid work into your channel, and you've got a bit of merch, or you've got an Amazon page or something like that, where you make a little bit of money off that or something like that. Fair enough. But just don't take advantage of people. You know, don't take advantage of people that are scared, you know, and vulnerable. Because there's a lot of people out there that are. You know, I'm seeing cracks appear everywhere. I'm seeing mood swings. I'm seeing people getting ranty. I'm seeing a lot of road rage, loads of road rage, and 99% of that's me. Like I was saying about World War II, you know, when the shit hits the fan, and it did then, you know, people, especially like people living in big cities like Manchester, especially Sheffield, you know, because there was, you know, they had the steel works there. They were making a lot of stuff there. There's a place not far from where I live. That was a big munitions plant, about 15-20 minute drive away from where I'm living. That got bombed to fuck. London got bombed to smithereens. You know, it was you know, it was crazy. It was crazy, but it brought the country together. And I'm fairly certain that that's what's going to happen again. But I'm sure even back then, there were people that took advantage of people that were vulnerable because they were scared. You know, and it shouldn't happen. You know, it speaks volumes about a person's character. You know, don't be a cunt. Rule number one in life. You're trying to build a greenhouse, partly underground. Why partly underground, Lily? I'm sure you've got a reason. I'm just impressed that you're trying to build a greenhouse. You know, I can't even put a fucking shelf up. I can put a shelf up. You know, I think we've all got our own unique set of skills. We've all got our own little skill set. You know, all of us. I have skills that you'd be impressed with. You'll have skills that I'll be really impressed with. You know, so imagine what we'd be like as a collective. And that's the way we need to be thinking, you know. I requested it for my birthday. Who did you request it from, Lily? Because that'd be a great birthday. Fair enough. I used to say, hairy muff. But I think fair enough is better. The earth keeps it warmer in winter, cooler in summer. Ah, right. Yeah, I was thinking along those lines, but I was thinking, I've got to be wrong. But yeah, I'm looking at building a cold frame before winter, so I can hopefully carry on growing some greens. Just so I've got an extra little bit of space outside in addition to my grow tent and my little lamp as well. And again, there was that seller on Amazon, on eBay, agreed to knock money off for a hydroponics system to give us a discount for the channel. But I've not pursued it because I don't think there'd be enough interest. I think if there's only like, 2-3 people interested, it's not going to be worth their while. So, but if anyone's interested in topping off their whole organic freeze-dried egg powder or anything else, if there's something that a bunch of you wants, just let me know, email me or whatever, and if enough people want it, I'll get stuck in. I'll start to, because this channel is really good leverage to convince someone to knock money off. It is, because they'll be looking and be like, oh, he's got nearly 2,000 subscribers. That could be 2,000 units. It will never be that many, never, But if they made 30 extra sales, 30, which is very, very easy to achieve, that's still going to make a difference. So that's us saving and then making, it's a win-win. I've seen something on a prepping channel recently about a greenhouse built part underground. There's a section in the middle to stand the earth radiates the heat up. Yeah, and putting a massive water container or several water containers in there, letting the sun heat the water up during the day, and then the warm water keeps the air ambient. Canal. It's not a hard word to say. Ambient keeps the air ambient during the night, and then by the time it just starts creep up to freezing again, it starts to warm up again with the sun, So having water containers in there that are semi-transparent, so that it's letting actually black. But then black relinquishes heat quicker. So maybe something opaque, but definitely water. I've known a few people that have done that. They've put water barrels in there that have heated up during the day, and then the warmth that's in the water keeps the greenhouse ambient-ish during the night, during winter, in our hemisphere. And you've got very similar weather conditions to the UK, haven't you, Lily? In Seattle, it's not much different. I know it pisses it down and rain a lot there. And what are your guys? I don't know if any of you have noticed. Well, there's a lot of activity with animals coming out of where the Yellowstone Park is. Just like mass exoduses of different types of animals just coming out. It's like, I mean, grizzly bears, apart from when it's mating season, when they go looking for mate, and you got the female looking for a mate, you've got the male looking for a mate. Sometimes they have to battle it out a little bit, but they're generally solitude. They're solitude animals, and they're all coming together and coming out. So I don't know if there's something man-made that's going on, like a build up to something, or whether there's something, whether it's a natural thing, or I don't know, whether it's something to do with the earth, the poles. I don't know. Just wondered if you guys had a take on it, or if you knew anything about it. The water containers need to be black. Yeah, so I think you're right there. I did say that, but then I retracted it because I thought, but black then relinquishes. You see, black relinquishes heat quicker. But if the water inside has built up enough warmth, then that won't make any difference. I think that just applies to skin color and clothing. Because, you know, a lot of people would think, hold on, if black takes on the heat quicker, why aren't these Africans falling like flies with heat stroke? It's because the heat, it gets in there, but it goes quicker. It goes quicker. They can sense what we don't know. Yeah, because they haven't got the clutter we've got, all of the complications of life. They haven't got any of that. They're just pure. They're pure. It's just pure life. I envy them for that. Still altering. Can't remember if it's faster or slower. Yeah. I'm sure it's all going to become very, very clear very, very soon. I keep water in white, clear containers inside in dark so I can check and easily see if any discoloration or mold. Yeah, it's mad, you know, because they say keep your water bottles out of the sun because it can build up algae and mold, right? And then on the flip side, they say put your water bottles in the sun because the ultraviolet kills off any shit in there. Make your mind up. Oh dear. Yeah. North side of greenhouse. It gives off heat at night. North side. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea. If I didn't have so many bushes and stuff in the garden, it's because it's so long. You know, it's north facing my garden, and the only reason that I'm able to grow so much is because it's so long. So it's not overshadowed by loads of, you know, tower blocks or, you know, tall houses or anything like that. So I still get sun at the bottom of the garden, but even then I'm quite restricted during the summer. You know, I've got to really think about where I put this cold frame, really think it through. Might even have to pull up some slabs and get a digger out, or I don't know. I'll do whatever I need to do. But I found somewhere else today where I can plant some more food, where I know no one will ever go. And if anyone does go there, they won't think that's food, that is, you know. Do whatever we can, whatever you can. Just keep thinking outside the box. Potato powder, potatoes. I'm still rifling through mine. Fuck me. I bought so much of the stuff, right, that I'm having to try and be. So I vac packed them into bags that were too big, really. I should have put them in. As I moved along, I started to put them into more portion-sized bags, so enough for like 4 people for 4 meals as a side, you know, with other stuff for 4 people. But initially, when I first bought this, it was about to go out of date, so then I vac packed it into separate vac pack bags, and so best before. Well, it was packed in September 2023. So I've got a lot of this shit, but I do recommend that. Oh, potato powder, right? Would you like me to see if I can get a seller that sells tropical sun potato powder, which is what this is? Find the cheapest seller and see if I can get them to knock money off. Because if you do, I'll buy some. Let me know. It goes so far. It goes so far. You know, you just have just one cup of this stuff, and you add water to it, you think, oh, this isn't going to fill me up. Right, I need to add some more water. Before you know it, you've got to empty it out of the cup and put it into a fucking bowl, because it's just, you know, there's just so much of the stuff. It goes so far. I would highly recommend Tropical Sun powdered potato. I want to put that in the front room. By the way, darling. Okay. Come on then. I'm not on tender hooks now, like waiting for the next drink. So yeah, I'm on it like a carb on it, Lana. Like I said, this channel gives me a lot of leverage because I can sell it to them. I'm not lying to them. I can say, look, there's a potential for you to get 1,500 sales here, or 50. I don't know. Either way, you're gonna gain. You know, if you lessen your profit margin, then you sell so many more units. You're gonna make an exponential amount of profit. You know, it makes pure sense. It's complete. It's rational. I'll get on that tomorrow, Lana. And if anyone else is interested, you know, I'll get it done anyway, and then I'll do a little video. Yeah, I'll do a little video or a little short or something, and I'll tell you I've managed to find someone, and they've knocked 5% off 10. I'll try. I always go for 15%. Then they knock me down to 10 or 5. You know, it's still going to be cheaper than any other seller. And it goes and goes and goes and goes. Just add a bit of salt to it, a bit of butter to it, and it's lovely. It's lovely. So easy to mix. You don't end up with any like little, you know, when you go, oh, I'm not mixed that very well. It's all powdery. Or like you cough, like you get a mouthful of mash. You think you've done it properly, get a mouthful of mash, and you cough. It's like a plume of dust. Oh, it's not like that. It's not like that. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't mind the noise of the pause. It's when you start drinking, it goes through me. Misophonia, look it up. It's fucking horrible. It's just anxiety and anger, a mixture of the two. But she'd never know that. I would never ever shout to them, or they've got a drink. You know, I'm not a bastard or anything like that. They would never know what it's doing to me. They'd never know. You know, I shouldn't even like say stuff like this online. You know, because if they ever manage to pinch me whilst I'm out, when I'm out and vulnerable, you know, I get fucking completely and totally engulfed because they'd need more than one, right? And then they put me in a room where they just play noises like that. I'll fucking give everyone up. Yeah, the leader of resistance lives next door. Fucking turn it off, please. No, I wouldn't. They'll have to kill me. I'm very loyal, and very, very, very determined. No problem, Lana. Hello, Annette. You all right, sweetheart? How long will it last? If you pack it up, you've got something like 3 years on the best before. So it'll come with up to 3 years best before, but you'll get at least another 3, maybe 4 years out of it if you pack all of the air out of it, right? So a very, very, very long time. And as I've said in a video I did ages ago, it might have been a couple of years ago now, or maybe a year ago, I don't know. But they said if there's one vegetable that you can grow to try and survive, just one vegetable, and then go out foraging for nettles and shit like that just to compensate for what you might be missing out on. It should be potatoes because it fills you up, and it's got those starches. It's got that carbs. The carbs gives you that energy, and there are vitamins and minerals in there, But bear in mind, these are not, organic Maris Piper fucking potatoes. This is powdered mash, but it is pure powdered mash. You look on the ingredients list, potatoes. That's it. Potatoes. Just add water, salt, and a little bit of butter, and it's bang on. I've made shepherd's pies with it. I've made corned beef hash with it. I've got my own little kind of things as well, like specialty things with tomatoes and sausages, and that's got mash on top of it. And then you put your powdered egg on there as well. Obviously add water to it, otherwise it's going to be nasty. So you have your powdered mash, a layer of that's been mixed. Then your powdered egg mixed up, liquefied. Pour that over the top. And then your powdered cheese, because I can get that as well. I'm working my way through that stuff now as well. Bit of powdered cheese, sprinkle that on the top, stick it in the oven, comes out, and it's fucking gorgeous. We don't need to be eating like animals. And this is all prep food that you can put away and forget about and not worry about it. It won't spoil, A minimum of 6 years. So if you want me to get some sellers interested, I'll aim for 2. And I'll do a short and say, yeah, I've managed it, blah, blah, blah. This is and I'll show you one. I can't put links to eBay, I don't think, because it wouldn't let me before, because I think Google are connected to, because you can do it with Amazon, but I don't think you can do it with eBay. And it's only eBay that I'll go through to try and connect with these sellers. I've never tried it with Amazon. But leave it with me. Within 48 hours, hopefully I'll have an answer. Might take 3 days because of it being the weekend. But I will pull it off. I will pull it off. I'm telling you, this tropical sun powdered mash is spot on. And I've got a lot of this shit. But you can't have enough. Because I use it a lot. And it fills you up. And that's what matters. You've got to be filled up, You need that energy. And again, we don't need to be eating like, how long do fresh potatoes last before they go green or go sloppy and mouldy and turn into a fucking plant? That doesn't happen with this. 100% potato. Making powdered mash yourself, Annette, probably not, unless you've got a freeze dryer. So you'd have to boil your mash. So that takes loads of energy, loads of fuel. Boil your potatoes to soften them. Get as much moisture out of them as you can. Then mash them up. Then put them in some sort of dehydrator. Then wait for God knows how long, 12, maybe 16 hours for it to dry out properly. Then you've got crumbly, powdery mash. This is freeze dried. It's freeze dried and made into powder. Now, to get a freeze dry, you're looking at $4,000 for a half decent second-hand one. So this is just the next best thing. But yeah, making your own, good luck. That's a challenge and a half. If you could do it easily, I would have done it by now, But I will, and never had powdered cheese. It's not amazing. It's not, but again, look, I would rather have Maris Piper potatoes grown out in my own garden, brought in and peeled, boiled, made into mash. Beautiful. I would prefer that over powdered mash any day. I would prefer to crack an egg open from an organic egg and have a fried egg than have this powdered stuff that you turn into snot, right? But it's still got the same goodness in it because it's whole egg and it's organic, where it's freeze dried and powdered. Another thing that will last you for years. You know, look at the price of eggs. It's only going to go up and go up and go up because people are still buying this bird flu bullshit. Birds can't get the flu. They're biologically impossible. But people are still buying it. So that's going to affect the eggs, the egg prices, you know, and not many of us. I mean, I used to have 3 hens, but I can't have them now. Because they like to get about, you know. And we didn't mind back then because we didn't have a dog. Now I've got 2 chicken killers. So yeah, it would just be 2 or 3 very expensive roast chickens because the dogs fucking killed them. So freeze-dried powdered mash, freeze-dried whole egg organic egg powder, freeze-dried, again, lasts. Just pack it down and keep it somewhere dark. And freeze-dried cheese powder. And I've used that in loads of dishes. I mixed it in with my bread mix when my bread maker was functioning, which it isn't now. So I've started sprinkling it into my my flatbreads. So it still gets used up. You just get creative, and I love being creative. I love cooking. I love it, you know. And I know, like, it's not a la carte, you know. It's not fucking Michelin star shit. But you're still having to be creative to try and make these prepping food items interesting. You know, I love stuff like that, and you should too. It's good for you. But yeah, if you want any more, I need to try. I tried to fry potato slices. Terrible. Yeah, to make them into what, like potato chips, Lily, or crisps as we call them. Yeah, you can just add a bit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just add a bit of Celtic sea salt. It's bang on. I have fried it, but I mean I've seasoned the shit out of my cast iron pans, so they are proper non-stick now. So now I'll make some mash up and I'll chuck some fresh onions in there, or some chives, and a little bit of sea salt, bit of pepper, maybe a little bit of garlic powder. If I'm sure we've all got plenty of that. Sprinkle a bit of that in there, and just fry it up. Just get get a metal. We can use the metal spatula in a cast iron pan because it doesn't give a fuck. Because cast iron's cast iron. It's like, is that all you've got? I want more pain. Give me more pain, you bastard. You know? Whereas a non-stick pan that gives off all these fucking chemicals and, yeah, Teflon. Stay away from Teflon. But yeah, I fry my potato up. You know, add half a tin of corned beef in there, and yeah, you can make it really, really interesting. Potato's so versatile. It's just so good. I was just interested, but I wait for you and some cheese, please. I'll keep an eye out for the shorts. I'll put it into a short video in it within the next, because it's the weekend. It might be a bit of a problem, and tomorrow's taken up entirely. I might give it a go tomorrow night, but yeah, bear with me. I'm a man of my word. I will be on it. I'll be on it like a carb on it. Just keep an eye out in the shorts, you know, section of the channel, and I'll do a little video. I'll write down the name of the seller, so you can look for the name of the seller. It won't be hard to find, and they'll usually put a discount code on, and it'll be Rose Hippie Guy 10, which will 10% off. 15, hopefully. Sometimes they'll go, no, we'll go for 5. And I'll just turn around, well, someone else is selling the same things offered 10% off. Would you like to run concurrent with them? And they'll go, oh, all right then. you know. So 10% off is 10% off, you know, and it will usually be 10% off the cheapest one. So it will be the cheapest on eBay. And nobody usually turns me down, you know, because it makes no sense. You know, it's pure business sense. If I tell them the name of the channel, you know, I tell them that I'll give them a mention, you know, in the post section. I'll say, look in the post section. And if you agree to it, I'll put it in the post section. You'll see that it is me that you're talking to, you know, not just some random bloke that's just trying to get money knocked off. I used to be in sales. I'll be all right, you know. I did a 35-minute video on pans and made it interesting. But I'm always honest, you know, I don't lie. So when I say get cast iron pans, get cast iron crock pots, I fucking mean it, because it will last you forever. You don't need to worry ever again. That's it. You're done. You're done for life. For life. Right. So let me write it down just so I don't forget. So eggs, cheese powder, and potato. Right. So let's get another pad. Hold on. And again, if there's anything else you want, if there's enough of you wanting it, I'll go for it. I'll go for it. I don't mind. You know, the whole point of this channel right from the start was to reach out, you know, to reach out to you guys and for you guys to reach out to me. And that's what's happened. So eggs, potato, cheese. Yeah, there's different types of cheese. That I ended up going for it was a double Gloucester, red Leicester one. I'll show you it. Like I said, when it arrived, as soon as it arrived, I split it up. And I bought specific sized backpack bags, so they were in portion size, so that I could keep all of the rest as fresh as possible for as long as possible, right? So that's the cheese. Doesn't look like cheese powder, does it? It says best before October 2024. I've got absolutely no concerns whatsoever. None with that. Right? So that's the cheese. Right? Powdered cheese. And this is the whole egg powder. And this is the last batch that I bought that I managed to get that discount on for everyone. And so how long ago was that? And the best before, I put the actual best before date that was on the bag that it came in onto here. And that was ages ago. Yeah, best before December 2028. Whole egg powder, whole organic egg powder, freeze dried. You know, as gross as this is, because it's not particularly pleasant. It's not the same as cracking an egg open, right? But you can make it pleasant, right? Well, this is the ultimate prep food. The ultimate. if any of you haven't done a full-on fucking deep dive into the health benefits of hen's eggs, organic eggs, and the benefits and all of the vitamins and the good cholesterol and all of that that's in an egg, it's a superfood. So that is a no-brainer. So I'll get some more in if you want. I don't mind topping up on some more. I'm well up for that. You know, I don't, like I said, I couldn't. I've tried making it into scrambled egg, and I'm just such a fussy eater. I take after my dad. So cheers, Dad. So I wasn't really keen on the scrambled egg, you know, because it was just the consistency was different. But it's because it started off as different, you know. But you can do loads with it. You can add it into dishes, so you're still getting that goodness, you know. And it holds on to. It's been freeze dried, so it's held on to what 85-90% of its goodness, of its benefits. A fucking no-brainer. So if you want it, let me know. I'll try and get a seller for each one of those things, and I'll do a short. Went right around the houses. Annette, I made some butter the other day. Lana makes butter, Annette. I wonder if Lana's already said that. No, she hasn't. Yeah, Lana makes her own butter. She's told me how she does it, and it's something I've wanted to give a go. Because but then she makes it all. She always makes it. She makes it everything sound easy, because everything is easy to her. Because she's just like that, you know. I have a farm nearby to me, and they sell 6 eggs for £2. That's a bargain. I dash out each day to grab some if they put them out via the honesty box. Oh, so you live somewhere quite rural then, Sky Girl. Oh, it's so lovely. I love these honesty boxes. You know, they're going to come to an end. They are. Because you're going to get people that are getting desperate, and they're going to be going out there and robbing them. They are. It's inevitable. At least, you know, in the short term. It's inevitable. But I love that. Yeah, take advantage of that. £2. I pay £3.20 for 6 organic eggs. And I only eat organic eggs because I know that free range is such a loose term now. Such a loose term. But that's a bargain, £2. And you know they're going to be organic, you know. My first drink of the day is a glass of filtered water with a small pinch of Celtic sea salt in it. Oh, yeah, that sounds very healthy. Electrolytes. Making damson cheese with freebie damsons. Damsons, aren't they a little bit like blackberries? Are they a bit like blackberries? Have I got the right one? I'm gonna try pickling eggs tomorrow. I've never tried a pickled egg. The thought of it, again, I'm fussy. I'm a fussy eater. The idea of an egg tasting pickled. Yeah, I'll have a salad with boiled eggs sliced up and pickled onions, pickled beetroot, you know, pickled this, pickled that, and then a dressing of a pickle with like a vinaigrette all over my eggs. What, having an egg that's pickled? But then I've never tried one, so I don't know if I like them or not. I'm stupid. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. You ever tried it? No. Where are we? Yeah, good luck with that, Annette. My spice rack consists of 1 litre mason jars of herbs, spices. Wee jars last me about 2 days. Yeah, but yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing, you know. I've started to decant a lot of stuff into glass out of plastic. out of plastic bags, out of plastic bottles, glass. Yeah, it's no stress anyway, Annette. It's my pleasure. I love doing shit like this. You know, you guys have helped me so much over the years. I suppose it's my little way of trying to pay you back. To the men in the chat, Northern on YouTube, real stuff. Northmen. I'll write that down. I'll check it out. Can we buy it from you then? No, Annette, no, because that'd make it more expensive for you, because then I'd be getting it to me and then I'd be charging you postage to get it to you. So what I do is I contact the eBay sellers. I ask them, I use the channel's leverage. I ask them to consider a discount code. They agree or disagree, you know, but they usually agree with, especially when it comes to stuff like these three. And then they'll put a code on, which will be Rose Hippie Guy 10 for 10% off, or Rose Hippie Guy 5 for 5% off if they get tight bastards. But every little helps. Or maybe even 15. And then I'll let you know through a short in the videos. And I'll write it down so that you know what you're looking for. And then, unless I can manage to put a link on, which is unlikely, but I will try. But no, it won't be through me. It'll be through the actual shop, but you'll see the name of the channel as the discount code. Can you bake cakes? What, with the eggs? Yes, you can. Yeah. Yes, you can. No problems. No, there's no difference. But you need to get it into the consistency of an egg first before you use it for baking, which is easy. I love garlic. Crush it. I love garlic. Crush it and add it to stir fries. Make own garlic Kievs. Mash it into potatoes. Love the stuff. Yeah, but buy loads. And if you're not growing garlic already, which is a piece of piss, get loads of garlic in tubes, you know, as paste, and get the granules and the powdered stuff. Get as much as you possibly can in. It's still good for you. So good for you. Again, another superfood. We're keeping some of the meat chickens, the Cornish cross. You nicked our chickens from Cornwall, Lily. We'll fucking have you for that. I think they noticed their friends disappearing every morning for a week. Again, that's another aspect of prepping that I would struggle with initially. The taking of the life thing, you know. Just don't name them. Don't name them. Don't get connected. Just feed them, look after them, and then when it's ready, you know, when you need some meat, you know. Well, this is how we get our meat. It's just that we get taken out of that side of the equation, don't we? So we don't have to deal with it, but it might come to the point where you might need to. You know, I've seen videos on X and of these vans just pulling up in Bradford, and people, all these Asians, like bloody fucking bastard, lining up at this van. It was the van up, and it's just full of crates. Crates full of chickens, and they're getting chickens out, snapping the necks, putting them in boxes in Bradford. Third world, but fresh. You get fresher than that, do you? I see the chickens running around in the field next to me. There are only about 10 of them. I watch the lady collect them and put them in a box and put them in the honesty box. Defo organic. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Super easy. Just whisk full fat cream, preferably from grass-fed cows, of course. It's in a bowl till it separates. Drain liquid, buttermilk off and keep. Then whisk, drain again. Yeah, I know. I might give it a go. Hardly get any more liquid from it. It's ready. Rinse in ice cold water, then shape into block. I'll give it a go at some point. I mean, it can't be that hard. And I love butter, and butter's all I buy. I don't buy any of this spreadable shit. You know, these seed oils and sunflower oils and all that. You've got to please stay away from them. The only thing that they're good for is oiling the chain on your bike and seasoning your pans. That's it. That's it. That's all it's good for. It's a byproduct. It's an industrial byproduct. And they thought, oh, we've got all this oil. We can't get rid of it. We'll fuck the environment up. I've got an idea. Why don't we sell it to the fucking peasants? Next thing you know, everyone's got Alzheimer's, everyone's got dementia and various other ailments that are fucking them up. All as a result of eating food that's been cooked in that, you know. I love my chips. I love chips. I'm an Englishman. Of course I do. You know, but I only ever use lard. Lard. I just use a two beta. Yeah, I was going to say a 2 beta. Like, do you want me to do my beatbox? I would if I could. I've got a 1 beta handheld whisk. When you see the colour of real butter, you will realise they are adding to shop bought stuff to make it more yellow, either dye or cutting it with seed oils. Yeah, well, I mean, I do try and buy a good, really, really good quality, the best quality butter that they sell. Yeah, we're just trying our best, aren't we? Really, with the funds that we've got, you know. But I think just avoiding seed oils on their own, is definitely going to be, you know, an improvement. And using lard or dripping is going to be an improvement. Yeah. Fresh homemade butter is amazing. I can imagine. Enjoy tonight. I'm off to bed now. Night, everyone. Sweet dreams, Sky Girl, and thank you for staying with us. You've, you are appreciated. Just know you are appreciated. And I'll see you in the next one. Sleep well. Lard does not put black stains on your pans like seed oils. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, does anyone know how to go fishing? Because there's one person here that can guarantee catching fish. Guaranteed, you know? And fish are extremely healthy, even though I don't like them. All you need is a net. That's a really fucking shit dad joke, that. Good grief. Come on, Terry, sort yourself out. Can you? I was joking. I've caught one fish once and it was about that big. And I felt so bad. I thought, oh no, I'm gonna get that out, you know. By the time I got the hook out, it was all mangled. Its head was snapped. Its fucking fins were all out. And I only wanted to get the hook out to save the fish. And the fish is in about 4 pieces. I don't want to do this anymore. But my brother is a very good fisher. And he's definitely someone that I will I'll have around to fortify the house, because he's a big lad and he's very trustworthy, very loyal, and he's got his own skills, you know. But again, I can't tell anyone enough, and I have told people that no, because not many people know that I've got this channel. It's something I've kept secret from pretty much most of the people I know. You know, I'm not one of those, I've got a YouTube channel, you know. I'm not like that. So not many people know about this. But to those that do, and you know, watch the catch ups and stuff, just know I'm not going to be a fucking food bank. Just know that. You know what I've been doing for this length of time, and you know why I've been doing it. You can see what's coming. Start prepping. I'm not a fucking food bank. Don't rely on me. You know, I'll help you if I can, but don't take the piss. And I suggest you guys say something along the same lines. You know, you've warned people. I think people have got about 6 months left before prepping becomes unaffordable, unachievable. 6 months tops. Well, hey, what do I know? So yeah, it's I think it is a case of putting as much food aside now as you possibly can, as quickly as you possibly can, as much as you can afford. And if you're thinking, but I've got no room left, and then just have a look around, just that corner. How much time do you spend in that corner? You know, where the plant is. How much time do you spend there? You don't spend any time there. I know, but it'll fuck with me feng shui. Fuck your feng shui. I've got a book on feng shui down here somewhere. I really have. I need to get rid of it, because I could put a useful book there. You know, I think I have got a sense of I have got something going on in this house. If you had a walk through the house, you'd feel a sense of calm. You would. So I don't need a book. I could replace that with a book that's going to be useful. It does sound bleak, Annette. But don't see it like that. Don't see it like that. This channel started out as a journal originally, because I was going through a lot at the time. I was losing my wife, and then my wife died. And then I kind of went downhill a little bit, and then I've kind of turned into this. So, but it's always been a journal / a prepping channel. So because it's a prepping channel, most of the people that you know that are in the chat, that watch these videos and stuff, they're aware of what prepping's about, and the fact that it's because what we're doing essentially is creating a buffer zone, just a buffer. So when everyone's fucking losing their shit and plowing through the supermarkets, no one's paying for anything. So it's like when you hear these prepping channels going, make sure you've got some spare cash put aside. That is a good idea, you know, for a 48-hour blackout when you can't use your card, you know, 48 hours tops. After 48 hours, people aren't going to give a fuck about the fact that they can't use their card. If they need to feed their kids, they'll just go into a shop and they'll just take it. They'll just take it. And once one person sees someone else taking shit, they'll start taking shit. And then before you know it, everyone's taking shit. and supermarkets have got a 3-day turnaround. So they'll replenish the shelves of certain items that will last, and they'll have enough stocked up for 3 days, and then replenish that 3 days, and then other stuff in between 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, right? These supermarkets, after 3, 4, 5 days, people will start to shoplift en masse, and that could turn into. You've seen these old videos of these crazy fucked up Black Friday videos where people are just people have gone under, people have been barged into, they've gone down, and they just get trampled on just because these fucking retards want £100 telly, £100 television. They'll stamp all over someone. Little old ladies, they don't give a fuck. That's the mentality, the madness of the crowds. So prepping and putting this food aside that's going to last, shelf stable, but not necessarily unhealthy. Again, this whole egg powder, for example, that's just one example. Getting all this extra food in creates a buffer so that you don't have to be part of that madness at the supermarkets. You can just hunker down, wait for things to die down a little bit. So can I assume that you're quite new to prepping, Annette? How did you find the channel, sweetheart, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, I don't need a... What is that, Lana? What is that? Book? Is that a book? I don't need a book or 9 lemons in a bowl. What is that emoji? Supermarkets will be looted within a day or two. Yeah, I'd say 48 hours. After 48 hours, people won't give a fuck because they won't have cash on them. Like, oh, the chip in my wrist don't work. You know, my phone don't work. You know, fucktards that haven't thought ahead. That gives us an advantage. So we can just stay back, stay hunkered down, stay discreet, right? Let the chaos ensue, and then it will ease down eventually. It will. But books. You can't have enough books. If you could, I did do a little kind of, because I did say that I'd do a little film of my books, go along and show you what books I've got, and I've got that on my phone, but it looks shit. You can't really tell. You can't really tell what they are, and I don't really want to say this is so and so by so and so. This is a book called blah 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 by blah blah blah, because it'll be a fucking boring. I just go, oh fuck that. I'd just flick past. I know I would. National Guard will secure Costco. Of course it will. Yeah, of course it will. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what, Lily? There's a lot of stuff. I think there are a few Costco's and a few Walmarts in particular where there's stuff underneath those buildings. And even over here in the UK, we've got Asda. Now, Asda was owned by Walmart, saying it was an American company, but we just called it Asda. And someone burgles our house. We go away for the weekend, come back and our house has been burgled. We phone the police. Yeah, we'll try and get someone out today. All right, okay, cheers. Yeah, that's my council tax well spent. We'll try and get someone out today. If not today, maybe a week. Don't touch anything. Right? Someone at Asda calls the police because someone's nicked a steak. They're there. 2 minutes. Owned by a Walmart, or they used to be. 2 minutes, the police are there. The police aren't there for us. They're there for the corporations. The sooner everyone gets that into their head, the better. You know? All we've got is each other. and that can be enough. It can, and it will be eventually when everyone gets the idea. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there's something under Asda. Because I mean, they can lock Asda down, as they do when it's closed. You know, it's completely locked down. They've got big, massive shutters, alarm systems, the whole shebang. So imagine having some sort of system going on underneath there, linking all the Walmarts in America, linking them all up. You know, that's a lot of food. So enough to keep them going in their underground cities, because I'm sure that there's definitely shit like that going on in America. You know, all these people hearing these booms that aren't coming from the sky, you know, these little tremors. You know, what do you think the Boring Company's for with Elon Musk? I've been learning more, re-prepping, but not as serious as you and chat. Yeah, well, believe it or not, Annette, we actually try and keep this really, really light-hearted, because that's something I do try to do. Try and keep it light-hearted, because it is, when you get to the nuts and bolts of it all, it can be quite dark, be quite a dark subject. But we try and keep balance, you know, try and keep it light-hearted so that it's not too much for people, especially because this is a public live stream, so we get people in that have never seen this channel before, and probably don't know much about prepping. They're just skipping through live streams on YouTube and have a bit of a listen to someone and have a listen to someone else, and yeah, we try and keep it light-hearted, because it is a dark subject. Because but then, having said that, we're actually, in fact, going back to the way that we used to be. You know, we used to put food aside for winter, to see us through winter, and then prepare our gardens and prepare the land to grow our food, to see, you know, and then forage, to see ourselves, plentiful summer, plentiful early autumn, late autumn, and then put stuff, into cellars, and, you know, just put stuff aside to see people through the winter. Turnips, potatoes, apples, you know, hardy stuff kept in cold, dark, dry places. So that was prepping. You know, people have been prepping for thousands of years. It's just that we've ended up becoming, by design, becoming so reliant on our governments to do everything for us, to provide water directly to our house so we don't have to go and travel for it, sanitation, gas straight to a unit in our kitchen so we can just press a button, turn a knob, and we've got power to cook our food. You know, we've been put in a position where everything's given to us on a plate. So all of the prepping side of things, which is normal and natural, has gone. So all we're doing is bringing back an old tradition. Look at it like that, you know, because it is the truth. It's the truth. So hopefully that's taken a bit of the darkness and a bit of the bleakness away for you. Not blessed to live in the country, Lana. Where do you live, Annette? You don't need to give me your exact address. Just your bank account number, your sort code, and your password, and the security number on the back of your card. That's all. But what part of the world do you live in? Are you UK? Because we do have people from all over the world, mainly UK based. But Lily, she's from from America. Come and watch my only preps. Hey Lily, hey, that is a niche that has not been filled. You know, you could be a trailblazer, Lily. You could be a trailblazer, Lily Gazoo. You know, my only preps. I fucking love that. That's brilliant. I'm trying to figure out how that works. I've got all sorts of mad shit going on in my head now. I'd have two travels miles to find a greengrocers, etc. All right, so you live in the sticks then? Do you live in the sticks? Because if you live that far away from a greengrocers, or do you live in the city to the point where there aren't any greengrocers? You know, just supermarkets. Is that what you mean? But are you UK based? Because most of the people here are. I am. I live in the Midlands. I live in Nottingham, as Lily would say. Terry from Nottingham. Oh, we're going to have to wind it down, guys, because this drive tomorrow is going to be I need to have a little bit of a shave, and I've got a shower. I've got to take the girls out for a walk. Loads of shit I can't be asked to do, but are necessary. Raw milk would be cool to find. It's a shame you can't find. Have you got a co-op near you, Annette? If you've got a co-op, there's something called Graham's Milk. So if you can find a co-op, Graham's Milk, that's raw milk, and I love it. That's all I buy. And when I run out of that, I use my powdered milk that I've got about 4 tons of. Do you have a high street butcher, fishmonger, etc.? Yeah, I'm trying to work that out. Oh, apparently, Lana, you're a super fan. And Maria Spoon is. Do I have to pay you? Oh dear. I'll have one last fag. Have me drink, because I don't like just shutting stuff off. You know, it's not natural, is it? You know, especially when we've got a nice bit of flow going. But I've got to think about focusing on the road tomorrow for that distance. Yeah, what have you got near you? So you just utilize what's nearest to you. Cheers. We'll have a look, Lana. Cheers. Yeah, just utilize what you've got. Utilize whatever space you've got in your garden to try and grow food. If you've not got any soil that you can dig into to plant stuff, just buy some pots if you can afford them. And once you've got some half decent, robust pots, they could last you, 8-10 years tops if you don't move them around. Because obviously the heat and then the frost and then the heat and then the frost and then the heat and then the frost, and then you go to pick them up and it just snap in half. It's happened to me. But there are so many solutions, and if anyone watching this even in the replay, because a lot of people watch this in the replay, if there's anything that you can't find a solution to, just contact us. We're a community, So if I've not got an answer, someone else will. I guarantee it. We'll find a way. Between us, we've got some serious fucking IQ. We have. In a good way. We're here to help each other. That's the whole point. because we're all like-minded. And again, we're gonna, you know, it's very difficult for most of us to communicate like this with our next door neighbours, because they wouldn't have a clue what we were talking about. You know, they wouldn't have a clue. Exactly, Lana. Yeah. To share information and support each other, you know, no matter what, always here. And over the last 5 years or so, we've ended up with a really, really nice community. You know, I'm really, really proud of what we've created here. Really proud. You know, lovely, lovely people. Some people have come, some people have gone. A lot of people have stayed. And yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Do you know what? I fucking love vodka. I'm going to find it really, really difficult not to tap into my supply. The supply that I'm good, because I need to buy a shitload in to make these little concoctions up. You know, nature, going back to nature for solutions for health conditions, to avoid getting cancer, to avoid getting really bad ailments, to still try and make sure that we can meet out our bare minimum nutritional requirements living in a town or a city. It's so doable, you know. Oh, something's just popped up in the middle of the screen. Good morning, what can I help you with? What? Fuck off. I don't know what, that's never happened before. So yeah, just consider going down the supplement route and making your own supplements. You know, I mean, I'm managing to pull it off. You know, I've got bags and bags and bags. I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of supplements, you know, that I've made off. What's in this one? Cloves, cinnamon, and ginger, right? So cloves, right, and parasites go together like a match and dynamite. The match being the cloves, the dynamite being the parasites. Chlorella. There's so many. You know, like I said, I'm up to 10 now. I'm aiming to get to 15 different supplements. I'm looking forward to having these rose hips ripen up, because that's going to be a vitamin C bomb. So on top of all of these things that are going to be taking care of getting heavy metals out of your body, so a proper heavy metal detox, including mercury, aluminium, all the shit that doesn't do your body any good. It shouldn't be in there, right? I've got supplements for that. And then I've also got supplements to kill parasites. So if I've got one that will, so I've got a backup for a backup for a backup for a backup, right? Cleanse, proper cleanse, you know, and then the tinctures in cold and flu season. It's called cold and flu season because you're getting less vitamin D, which isn't a vitamin. It's not even a vitamin. It's a hormone. So the reason why people get ill, you don't catch a cold. You don't catch a cold. You get a cold. You get a cold because your body's not, you're not meeting its nutritional requirements, you know? So vitamin C can help with your immune system. We don't catch colds. You can sit in a room with someone with a cold. If you're fit and healthy, you're not going to catch a cold. Do some digging. We've been lied to for so long, you know. And you can still get topped up with vitamin D on sunny days. Just get out there and feel the sun on your face. It all helps, especially first thing in the morning, last thing in the afternoon for your eyes. You know, it's taking sunlight through your eyes when it's not very strong. I wouldn't recommend staring at the sun during the day. But there is so much we can do. We've been lied to about so much, and that book, that ebook, that PDF. Have a good look at that. Have a good look at it. You get that, especially if you can print it off, print the whole book off and put it into a folder and put that next to your green pharmacy book, you know, and then start thinking about, right, what are the most common ailments that are likely to occur? Bearing in mind, 1 in 2 people are likely to get cancer in their life, right? They're accurate statistics. I've had cancer twice, so one of you guys is going to be fine. So statistically, I took care of you. You're all right. So cancer is possible, you know, because of parasites, mainly because of parasites. Now, parasites aren't designed to kill you, because if a parasite kills the host, the parasite dies. But if you get a parasite that's infected, that's when cancer can occur. Now, have a look at that book. I can't really say much more because YouTube will shut the fucking channel down. People have been killed for pushing stuff like that what's in that book. Killed. Humans, especially people like us, whenever there's been a problem, whenever there's been an issue, right, we've always come up with a solution. There's always been a solution, always. You know, that's why we're at the top of the food chain. We're designed to find an answer to a problem, and we do it well, you know, especially us. So take advantage of how special you are, you know. Well, I do feel like staying up. I have CA now. You have CA now. Is that an ailment? I don't know what CA is. Or I have CA now. Is that a cough? I have to organise a camp out. You'll have to organise a camp out. Oh, do it, Lily. Lily, are you still in? Oh, I didn't know that, Annette. Annette, did you see what? I'm really, really sorry, darling. I've had cancer twice, and I'm here. You know, my wife had cancer once, and she died. That's my wife there. Do you mind me asking you what kind of cancer it is, Annette? Because you're in the right place for trying to find a solution. You see, it's really difficult. Well, thank you very much, Annette. I was very lucky. You know, both times it was removed in its entirety. No radio, no chemotherapy. If I had cancer again, if it came back, third time unlucky, I would 100% refuse chemotherapy. Well, that's just me. That would just be my choice, my personal choice. And I would look to this community to help me find an answer to fix it. And I would have 100% faith that I would find an answer other than chemo. But that's just me. And I have to say that. I have to say that legally. Okay? Right, so is it a melanoma? Right, so Annette, were you in the chat when I was thinking the same, Lana. Hey Lily, are you going to be in like one of those short, flary little skirts, like flicking around these little things like that, little pom poms? Is that what you're going to be doing? Because that's how I'm picturing you now. That's the mental image I've got in my head. It's fucking stuck in there now. I'm not going to go to sleep. So cheers. You fuck tomorrow up for me, but in a nice way. Absolutely. And sweet wormwood. There are so many answers, Annette, to get this fixed. Including castor oil. Castor oil goes very, very, very deep. And it breaks stuff up. But I'm not a doctor. Again, I've got to say that legally. I've got to say that to you. I'm not a doctor. But we would like to help you, you know, if you're prepared to listen to us. The biggest cause of skin is sun creams. The sun reacts with the chemicals in sun cream, in sunblock and sun cream, acts with the chemicals, you know. Now, I've not named any brands or anything like that, so I can't get done for, you know, whatever. But it is what it is. Don't put that shit on your skin. Use coconut oil. Just keep reapplying it. Excuse me. Keep reapplying coconut oil. SPF of 7. You know? And if you've got a healthy diet and you're looking after yourself and you don't wear sunglasses, then you won't burn. You know? Normally this time of year, I look like my name should be Ranjit Singh or Muhammad Ali. But I've just got a little bit of colour. That's it. Because I'm looking after myself. And I don't seem to be burning. Sunglasses. Sunglasses trick your body into thinking it's dark. So your skin reacts differently. It's not protecting itself. So you take those sunglasses off, your eyes are telling your brain that it's very bright. It can already feel the heat. It's very, very bright, and there's something happens to you, and you there is some sort of protection there. You do end up with some protection. Obviously, if you just stood in the middle of the desert, right, naked and dehydrated, you're gonna fucking fry. But yeah, you know, I've not burned this year. I've just got a really, really nice shade of brown just on my arms. You're going to be a Ghostbuster. Hello, Lulu. How you doing, darling? You all right? A Ghostbuster. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I hope you get some footage. Please get some footage, and yeah, because it sounds like a very happy event. Get some footage and upload it onto your channel if you don't mind, because I would like that. No, but love, son, it's eating my ear away, and nasty, painful nodules, quite horrible. Annette, did you see that? Did you see that PDF download that was in the chat? Lana, is there any chance you can upload that again, if you don't mind? Just so that you can find an answer. See if you can find an answer, Annette. Yeah, that's a start, Annette. Because cancer loves sugar, loves it. And it's mad because you can end up. So again, in a lot of cases, it can be parasites. Parasites love sugar. So the parasites can end up making your body crave. It can make you literally crave sugar to feed it. And then if that parasite's infected or fucked up in some way, then the cancer feeds on the sugar as well. But there's got to be something that you can do. So click on that link there, Annette. Click on that link and download what that is. Okay? Please download that before I close the live down for the night. That's why I crave sugar. It quite possibly is, Annette. Yeah, it's mad. It's like, because there's something called symbiosis, right? You've got loads and loads of bacteria, which is a different life form in your gut, a different life form, loads of different life forms in your gut. But it's symbiotic. It helps you and you help it, you know? And the whole body's kind of like that in many ways. But this is like a really, really fucked up, bad relationship type symbiosis. If that makes sense. Click that link, Annette, please, and then have a look. Have a look through the index. Find something that's appropriate for you, and then start to research the shit out of it. Okay? And you can thank us later. Or you can thank Lana later. And to anyone else anyone else that's not in the chat that's watching this now, please click on this PDF and download it. It's not a virus. It's nothing bad. It's probably one of the best things you'll download in your life. So please consider downloading that PDF. Save it to your SD card, or save it to an external hard drive or something like that. Anything that can't be corrupted, save it, and then have a proper good fucking read of it. Okay? Good on you, Lily. You won't regret it. Good on you, Annette. Please let us know how you get on. Okay? And thank you, Lana, for doing that. You might have saved a life. You might have saved someone's life further down the line as well, out of one of these 17 people, 16 people. So on that note, it has come to that time where I have to bid you good night. And I know I always say this, but I always mean it. Just thank you for your time. Thank you for spending it with me. And thank you for being part of this lovely, beautiful community that we've got, you know, because it works. It works. It does what it does what it should do. You know, it's bang on. Much love to you all. Sweet dreams, sleep well, and I'll see you on the flip side. Ciao for now.